The things we tell ourselves is really the key to transformation. Our subconscious minds believe what we tell it. And for a long time, in our place of low self-worth, we've been criticizing ourselves and telling ourselves things, and our subconscious minds believed it. You know, I can't believe it's already April, that we're in the 4th month of the new year. You know, time goes by very quickly, and regardless of where you are and what you've accomplished, compared to how you set out in the new year, every day is a new beginning. And so I would like you to take what you've accomplished so far that you're really excited about, and for those things that you haven't accomplished and you're maybe beating yourself up about it, I want you to forget about those things. I just want you to bring to this place today what's working. Let go of the things that you haven't gotten accomplished or what isn't working as of today, and let's start at this point together. I want to start by talking about what self-worth is, and then also contrasting that with what self-worth is not. Self-worth is you being you. It is you knowing who you are in your heart of hearts, in your true essence, in the core of who you are, in your spirit and in your soul. It is being in alignment with life, with the people. It's being able to tune in to the people around you. It's a sense of ease. It is a place, it's going through life with a flow. Self-worth is self-acceptance. It's loving yourself just as you are. It's believing in who you are and loving who you are with all of your imperfections and uniqueness. When I discovered that I didn't have self-worth, it was a life-changing moment. And, you know, there were a lot of things that led up to it. And I want to just say that when I had to admit to myself that I really did have low self-worth, it was a very sobering moment, and it actually did a really big number on my ego. I was trying to figure out what was so difficult about fessing up to that truth about myself, and I realized that what it was that I felt really vulnerable, you know, and here's why. The reason I felt so vulnerable is because I had lived my life for so long covering up my low self-worth. So when the doors were blown off of that facade, I didn't know who I was. And it was a very scary moment. I thought vulnerability was a weakness, and I'm here to tell you today that if you have had a hard time admitting to yourself that you don't have self-worth, that you have low self-esteem, or that you don't really love yourself, it is a kind of a hard thing to admit, but I want to say that you know, I want you to really realize that that vulnerability is actually your strength. It takes a lot of courage and strength to be vulnerable. Think of vulnerability as the doorway to your new beginning. When you get to a place where you can admit your truth, which is, I have low self-worth, that is your place of power. That is where and when everything changes. Because when we're honest with ourselves, it shines a light on the truth, and the truth sets us free. The truth really is the door that we open to step through to our freedom. So when I finally admitted that I didn't have self-worth, the question I was asking was, if I don't have self-worth, who am I? At that time, I was feeling a little lost, and actually I felt like a turtle without a shell. Self-worth is the ability to see things through your own lens and feeling good about seeing things from your own perspective, even if it's different from the way other people see things. Self-worth is self-acceptance. It's accepting that you're the same or different from other people and being okay with that. It's knowing that you don't have to comply to make other people happy. Self-worth is knowing that taking care of yourself is the most crucial step to taking care of others. Self-worth is when you no longer define yourself by the expectations of others. It's when you feel secure in your own skin. Self-love is when you can accept other people for who they are and not feel like you need to change them so that you can have freedom and your own sense of self. Self-worth is knowing that you have everything you need and that thing is inside you. Self-love is allowing yourself to have your emotions and your feelings, knowing that you have the right to them and to express them. It's knowing that it's not weak to hurt and feel. Self-love and self-worth is the integration of all of the parts of ourself. Self-love is when we can invite our imperfections to exist, to be seen and be heard, and to be loved as part of us. Self-love is you giving yourself permission to be you. Those are a few of the ways that I describe self-love, and I want to share with you some things that are not self-loving and that are indicators of low self-worth. You feel like something is missing inside of you or in your life. You might feel a sense of emptiness and aloneness. You feel like you're a victim and you don't have choices. You may just feel unhappy. People with low self-worth get hurt really easily. People with low self-worth don't believe in themselves. They doubt themselves. People who don't love themselves feel like they're bad. When we have low self-worth, we compare ourselves to others. When we have low self-worth, we have a lot of negative self-talk. People with low self-worth are perfectionists. We judge ourselves and we judge negatively. We have to start our day by setting an intention for ourselves. By going into the day saying, today I will do this, do that. And here's a very important key to remember in your self-love journey. Whenever you catch yourself not doing it the way you want to do it, criticizing yourself, feeling bad about yourself, comparing yourself to others, whatever it may be, pause. Pause in that moment and choose love for you. And that means connecting to your heart, asking your heart what it's really feeling. Remember in my last video, asking your heart to help you understand it. and then have grace with yourself. Cancel that judgment against you for when you feel like you're not doing it right, and just move on. You will be amazed at what a beautiful transformation it is when you can learn how to forgive yourself. That's another topic, but the step that you're going to take is when you catch yourself not being the person you want to be, tune into your heart, ask your heart what it's feeling, and then forgive yourself and give yourself grace and move on. Today you've taken a step, and the first step is deciding to have self-worth and self-love and tuning into this program to learn some ways to start that journey. What I would ask you to do also is to just keep the door open to all of the possibilities, meaning keep the door of your heart open, keep your mind open, and when that door closes, and it will, it might close every day and it might close multiple times a day, reset. Just forgive yourself, open your heart again, and move forward. Lastly, I want to share a very powerful step that I took in my self-love journey. And it was that I began to tell myself that I love myself. And I'm telling you what, at first it felt really uncomfortable because I didn't believe it. And I felt like I was being an imposter, but here's the thing that's happening. The things we tell ourselves is really the key to transformation. Our subconscious minds believe what we tell it. And for a long time, in our place of low self-worth, we've been criticizing ourselves and telling ourselves things, and our subconscious minds believed it. And so here we were. Well, now we're going to reset, we're starting over, and we're going to begin to tell our minds the truth about ourselves. And that is that we are worthy of love, we are worthy of a great and wonderful life, we're worthy of our dreams coming true, and the way to begin to make all of those things happen is to start telling yourself that you love yourself. You say, I love you, and your name. You say it to yourself as many times as in a day that you can remember, and you say it out loud as many times in a day as possible. It's powerful if you can stand in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes, and say those words, and be okay with it feeling uncomfortable at first. That's going to be part of the process, but I promise you, if you continue, it becomes easier, and as time goes on, you will begin to believe it, and that's when the magic and the miracles begin. You know, we just start to take some steps, and everything starts to change. Thank you for being here today with me. Thank you for doing life with